Hi guys, and welcome back to episode 3 of my Works and Resources tutorial series. So, we've got our basic city up, which covers all the basic needs, and I've just got some simple manufacturing industry up, just to show you guys a way you could start exporting food. I haven't properly utilised it and everything, but an example of getting the supply chains up of buying in crops, delivering them here, and then getting workers in through a bus route, producing food and alcohol, and then trucks to pick that up and take it back there. If you wanted a fully utilisation, you need way more trucks, and you probably maybe need a little bit more people as well, but probably not. It's probably just enough. But in this episode, now I'm going to move on to the more advanced, well, not really advanced, but the more important buildings you need that aren't absolutely essential. So we have got the fire station. This, obviously, because we've enabled fires, every now and then you'll get a notification pop up saying a building's on fire, and if no firefighters arrive, it will simply be destroyed. So this is a very important one. We've then got the hospital, and again, if you've got poor health due to pollution, so I'm not sure how much pollution these buildings generate, but it could be a problem that actually we've put these factories so close to the city. A lot of pollution will be generated, and it could cause quite a lot of health problems. But the main polluters are the coal burning facilities, like your power plants, your heat plants, all of that. So these probably will cause quite a bit of pollution, so probably not good building them so close. But I just wanted to demonstrate to you guys what the industry is. But so we'll need a hospital to deal with the ill health. That's everything in this menu. You've got some other buildings down here, but they're not particularly essential at the moment. We've got education related buildings such as the medical university. This is a big building, 200,000 it costs, and it's really big. What this does is it trains basic education workers into university educated workers, and university educated workers, really important. They run your schools, they run your more advanced industries. They're really important, and what you probably find in the early game is you just don't have enough of them, so you actually have to go to a building and buy in the experts. But the medical university actually trains these experts, so you won't have to buy them in. But for this, you're going to want to get a good bus route and maybe even some houses nearby, like the university halls. But I'll get this built this episode. Then we've got the indoor pool. This is an entertainment building that works it works all year round. So unlike the tennis courts and the football fields, this one actually works all year round to provide entertainment and sport. Sorry, not entertainment, it's sport. So we want to get that. And finally on the list is actually the most important ones, which is our winter buildings. So we have got the technical office, which I think is in Rhodes. Yeah, the technical services. This allows you to buy snow plows. So when it snows in the winter time, the roads can be cleared, because otherwise you're going to go your vehicle's going to go very, very slowly, and you'll just get nothing done. Buses won't arrive on time, and so you really need the technical services. And the other building, again in infrastructure, heating related, we're going to need a heating plant. This burns coal, and through pipes it takes the hot water to a heat exchanger which supplies an area, and the heat range is, we can see here, just over 500 meters. But I want to get that close to the town so we can supply a good amount of buildings. So that's what I'm going to get done this episode. I'm going to get all these buildings placed. When I'm placing them, certain buildings that need a little bit extra, I'll go into more detail. But let's get started. Okay, so the first building I've got placed down is the fire station. Nice on this main road, because I want the fire trucks to easily be able to get around the city. But once you've got that, come up here, buy a new vehicle, and you either get one of these, or I'd say get 2 of these. And the firefighter jobs are created once you actually buy the vehicles. So if you want to play it a bit more seriously, you can get your fuel trucks to deliver the fuel directly to the fire station, or if you really don't care, just buy the fuel automatically in. Okay, so up next I've got the hospital built. Same thing with the hospital, where you want to actually buy some ambulances. Just buy a couple for now. Same thing with the fuel. If you want to do it yourself with trucks, you can, but if not, don't worry. We can see with the hospital, it needs both staff and doctors, and these doctors are highly skilled workers. So this is why you'll need the highly skilled workers, otherwise you just won't have anybody working in your hospital to treat patients. We can see here these ambulances aren't even going anywhere, so they're not being used currently. But that's our two more important buildings done, because these will cover fires and this will cover your injured people. So we've got the most critical buildings done. So nice and central over here, I've got my swimming pool done. I've connected it to this nice long path, and I've got it close to the city, so it can easily be accessed to this bus stop. So people, maybe even from other smaller hamlets around the city, can get the bus in and come to the swimming pool, because it's not an expensive building, but you still don't want to be building tons and tons of these, and it can source a large amount of people, 82 people. Okay, so here we have a large building project that I've done, and you don't need to go this far. I'm playing with 10 million rubles. I've got plenty. If you're playing on a much more hardcore game, you do not need to do this, or you could get this all done, but just have it planned, so it's not actually going to be built straight away. But I've got the medical university here, all nicely connected up. I've got a big bus platform here, which can source, I think, 400 to 500 passengers. So once I grow the city much bigger, it can still this university can still cover a lot more people. I've also got some halls of residence here, which just house students and workers. And finally, I've just got 3 large parking lots. Again, we're not going to be using cars at all for yet, but I want them ready, so if we do use cars in the future, or when we do use cars, we have somewhere straight away that the cars can be parked. Okay, what I've also had to do with this area is connect it up with a new electric substation, medium voltage wires, which I've sourced from over here. This isn't a particularly efficient network. I've just used the biggest wires, but if you really are tight for cash, you can use cheaper, smaller wires, and you can create a more efficient grid, because this grid all runs off of just this imported transformer connection. But this is good for when you're just starting out. You don't need to worry too much about the electricity. Just do what I've done. But you may want to work in the future about using more efficient lines, creating a main grid of one big wire that comes out, and then smaller wires branch off of that. That creates more cheaper, looks nicer, and it will be more efficient for when you actually grow extra cities and you have lots of connections with the wires. But this is good for now. Okay, so now moving on to the next set of buildings. I've got the technical service down. This is an easy building to understand. You buy in plows. When the roads start to fill up with snow, technical services will send out the plows, and it will just automatically get them up. You can set the distance here, so the working range. The yellow is what they will work. That's all easy. That's done. But now we're on to the heating plant. So the heating plant will get workers in. The workers will burn the coal, and then the water will travel through pipes and go to heat exchangers. So a few things we just sort out here. We need a bus stop to actually service it. Actually, no, never mind. This bus stop here covers the range. We've got asphalt roads. I'm not used to having asphalt roads, but because we're playing them, basically they're not creative, but we've got a lot of money. We can build asphalt roads everywhere. So this is connected up. So we've got the workers. Coal, for that, in our... Oh, it's only a small distribution office, but you get the idea. In your medium distribution office, or you build either a second one, you want to get some dumpers, set the add new connection, and select the heating plant, then get coal from the border, and then I'd stock this at about 60%, because this is very important. Actually, no, sorry, I'd set this at 90%, because I only got an 80-ton storage. So the dumper I just bought is a modded workshop one, but you can buy any dumper just to fill it up with coal, go to the border, and then send it here. So So that's the actual heating plant setup. We've got coal on the way. You'll probably find you need more than one dumper though, especially if you haven't got the modded bigger version. But you get the idea. So now that we've got the heating plant set up, you want to get a heat exchanger. And also one thing I want to say is I built this heating plant quite a bit further away from the city, just so the pollution it creates isn't going to be as drastic. I didn't do that with this, and it's probably going to actually cause some illness, but I wanted to really make that clear with your coal power plant or your temperature heating plant. You don't want to build them close. But you do want to build the heat exchangers obviously close, and these don't create pollution. So I built a big heat exchanger, because that is a 300 meters cube tank. Our heating plant produces, how much does it produce? 1050 meters cubed. So the bigger heat exchanger means it provides more hot water. Because we're servicing a bigger amount of buildings, especially a big university, you want the big one. But because we're using a big one, we need to use big pipes. Because I'm probably going to build in this area, I'm not going to use the above ground pipes, which are cheaper. And the reason they're cheaper is because you don't have to spend money on digging underground. And I think they're a little bit cheaper in what parts they use. But I'm going to use the underground big pipe because it services 300 meters per cubed of hot water per hour. And I'm going to build that to this heating plant. That's going to build on auto mode. And there we go, now we have our heating set up. Only thing we're actually missing are the workers who will now be arriving, hopefully. Work and the coal here, but we don't need this heating plant to work until temperatures are very, very low. We can see here 12 degrees is quite low, but we're not even in summer yet, so we'll be in summer soon. Temperature will be very high, we don't even need the heating plant. It'll be in winter. Late autumn, winter, we'll actually need a heating plant, so we actually have the rest of the year to get this filled up with 80 tons. But unemployed workers, we're at 8. And 2 workers can't work because there's no kindergarten, so actually we've got space. So I'm actually going to set this at 10 jobs, because kindergartens you will need to build more quite fast. So now really, we just need more workers. You can either buy more workers in, or you can just let the population naturally grow. But that is everything for this episode, guys. We've got the university up, heating ready, snow plows ready. We have got the fire station up, the hospital up, and we've got a swimming pool which services the sport need all year round. So thanks for watching this episode. If you found it useful or you enjoyed it, please give it a like. And if you want to see more workers and resources content, subscribe to the channel so you'll be notified for more. But also I can see that you guys are subscribing from the workers and resources videos, and I will make more stuff. So I'll see you in the next episode.